Hello and welcome back to Pure Stoic Truth, where we dive deeper than surface-level attraction to explore emotional clarity, connection, and presence. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, so you never miss a moment of truth that could shift how you experience relationships and yourself. In our last video, we explored how to respond when her hug lingers a little longer, when her body leans in without words, but with meaning. Today, we're going a step further, because sometimes that hug isn't just a message, it's a key. And if you know how to use it, it could open the door to her heart. What if a single, silent hug could say more than any words ever could, and unlock a level of closeness you've never touched before? Could her embrace be more than affection? Could it be a question, quietly waiting for your answer? Most men treat a hug as a habit. The rare ones treat it as an opportunity. Which one are you? There's something quietly profound about a hug. Something so simple, so ordinary, and yet when you're truly present for it, it becomes extraordinary. It's not just a gesture, it's not just a moment of warmth. It's a form of communication, one that speaks volumes without a single word. But here's the truth most men never consider. The way you respond to a hug can shift the entire direction of a relationship. It can shape how she perceives you, how safe she feels around you, and whether or not she continues to emotionally invest. Because a hug isn't just a greeting. It isn't just an act of affection. It's a moment that contains possibility. It's a chance to connect, to tune in, to send a message not with your words, but with your energy. And depending on your awareness, that message will either draw her closer or subtly push her away. Yet most men completely miss this. They shrug off hugs as routine. They fail to recognize the subtle signals embedded in the silence. They respond with either detachment or overcompensation, and neither response reflects their true potential. But what if I told you that a single conscious hug could unlock something inside her that words never could? What if that one moment, if handled with real presence, could leave her thinking about you long after she's walked away? Think about the last time you hugged someone. I mean, really hugged them. Not the rushed, automatic kind, not the quick squeeze you give out of politeness, but the kind of hug where you slow down, breathe, feel, the kind where your attention doesn't wander and your heart doesn't hide. What did it feel like? Was there a lingering connection? Or was it just another physical gesture you barely noticed? Most people don't reflect on what a hug truly means. They underestimate it. They label it small, nice, harmless. But in truth, a hug is one of the most powerful non-verbal forms of emotional exchange we have. It's not just a touch. It's a transmission. It's a moment where words fall short, but presence speaks loud. It's your chance to say, I see you, I feel you, I'm here. It's a subtle way to leave a lasting impression without ever saying a word. But here's the catch. A hug is never just about the act itself, it's about the response. Because her hug is not just her touching you, it's her offering something emotionally delicate. And the way you respond reveals everything. That response can shape the way she sees you going forward. It can set the emotional tone for everything that comes next. It can either build a bridge or quietly start to build a wall. When a woman hugs you, she's sending a message. It might be conscious, or it might be something her body expresses before her mind even catches up. Either way, she's offering a moment of intimacy, an opening. She's giving you a chance to meet her at a deeper level. Are you paying attention? Are you present enough to notice the weight of that invitation? Are you tuned into what her body might be saying, even if no words are spoken? Let's break this down. Because when a woman gives you a hug, it's never random. She's sending subtle, nuanced signals that reveal how she feels, where she stands, what she hopes you'll sense. And you won't hear them unless you've trained yourself to feel the way she holds you, the length of the hug, the pressure, the way her body aligns with yours, whether she pulls away quickly or stays a heartbeat longer than expected. All of it tells a story, and what happens next, what you do in response, will either validate her emotional risk or subtly undermine it. You have the power to shape that moment. You always have. So what is she really saying when she hugs you? That way, what does it mean when she presses in just a little more? When her arms wrap around you, not casually, but with a kind of protectiveness. In the world of human connection, a hug is a testing ground. It's where she gets a glimpse into your emotional maturity, your ability to feel, not just think, your comfort with presence and closeness. And it's your moment to silently show her, I understand the emotional language you're speaking. Because a hug isn't just physical, it's psychological, it's emotional. It's the gateway to intimacy that most men walk past without ever noticing the door, the duration, the rhythm, the stillness. It all communicates something far deeper than speech ever could. So now the question becomes, how do you use that moment? Not just to hold her, but to reach her. In the next part, we'll explore how to stay grounded, calm, and attuned so that your hug doesn't just touch her skin, but touches her heart. Earlier, we explored how a simple hug, when approached with presence, can carry messages words will never speak. Now, let's take it further. Because reading that unspoken message is only half the equation. The other half is how you respond. And if you can read that story, if you can truly listen with your body, not just your mind, then you can respond in a way that not only honors the moment, but deepens the connection. A response that lingers long after the embrace ends. But here's the real secret. It's not about trying harder. It's not about performing. It's about being fully present. It's about grounding yourself in the moment, confident yet calm, open yet centered. Because this intimate, wordless gesture can become the beginning of something deeper, if, and only if, you respond in the right way. So, how do you respond? Let's start by exploring the different types of hugs you might encounter, because not all hugs speak the same language. Each one carries its own emotional undertone, its own hidden meaning, and each requires a different kind of awareness from you. The way you react will either create intimacy or distance. The casual hug. This is the most common type. Quick, light, often includes a couple of gentle pats on the back. It's friendly, familiar, safe. She likely sees you as a companion or someone she's comfortable with, but without romantic intent. At least, not yet. But don't misread this. Just because a hug seems casual doesn't mean the potential for connection is gone. In fact, this is your entry point. It's your opportunity to build emotional rapport, not by pushing, but by being present. The key, stay relaxed, breathe deeply. Don't shrink back or disengage too quickly. Respond with ease and quiet confidence. Let the hug linger for just a heartbeat longer than expected. Then, as you slowly step back, look her in the eyes. Offer a warm, grounded smile. This isn't about forcing anything. It's about signaling something subtle. I'm present, I'm grounded, and I'm open. The way you carry yourself in that brief exchange, your posture, your energy, your stillness, tells her more than you realize. Even a casual hug can become the spark of deeper connection if you respond with genuine warmth and self-assuredness. The firm hug. Now we move into something with more depth. A firmer grip, more pressure. It lasts longer than the casual pat. This type of hug often suggests familiarity, comfort, and mutual respect. She may feel emotionally safe with you, and while that doesn't always mean attraction, it's a foundation you can build on. Your response here matters more than ever. If you pull away too quickly, you risk signaling disinterest, or worse, discomfort. But if you hold the hug for just a moment longer, something subtle shifts. Watch for her cues. Does she keep eye contact afterward? Does her body language soften? Does she relax into the moment? If so, this is your opening. Stay steady. Let your breath slow. Let the embrace settle naturally without rushing to fill the silence or control the pace. Your stillness here communicates far more than words ever could. You're safe here. I'm not in a hurry. I'm comfortable with closeness. Don't underestimate this moment. When held with respect and confidence, even the firm hug can become the bridge to emotional intimacy, the lingering embrace. This is where things shift. This hug lasts longer than usual. Her body presses a little closer. There's a softness, a slowness, almost like time has stretched between you. She's not rushing to pull away. And in that subtle stillness, something more is being offered. This kind of hug often carries both emotional and physical attraction. And in this moment, your presence is everything. Don't be the first to let go. Match her pace, mirror her energy. If she stays close, stay with her. A light touch on her lower back, a gentle squeeze, a slight lean into her. These are all subtle, yet powerful ways to show you're with her in the moment. It tells her without words, I'm not afraid of this closeness. I'm here with you. But remember, this moment is delicate, too eager, and you'll break the spell. Too hesitant, and you'll miss the invitation. This is where subtlety becomes your strength. Stay calm. Let the moment breathe. Be attentive without tension. Hold her like she's not just a body, but a person revealing her trust, 1 second at a time. Because when she lingers, she's not just giving you her time. She's giving you her emotional presence. How you respond to that becomes the memory she keeps. So now that we've explored the different kinds of hugs and how to meet each one with presence, what comes next? In the next section, we'll uncover what these subtle invitations truly mean and how to tune into the emotional language behind every embrace. Because the deeper truth is, a hug is never just a hug. Sometimes it's a doorway. We just explored how different types of hugs, from casual to lingering, carry emotional weight far deeper than we often realize. But now we arrive at the most telling hug of all, the moment where true intimacy begins to reveal itself. The intimate embrace. This is the one that speaks volumes without saying a word. Her body presses fully against yours. Her head may gently rest on your shoulder or nestle softly into your neck. Sometimes her hands move slowly along your back, not in a rush, not seeking permission, just being there fully present with you. This is not just affection, this is trust made visible. In this moment, she feels emotionally safe with you, perhaps even deeply drawn to you. She may not say it out loud, but everything in her body language whispers, I'm open. Will you meet me here? Don't rush. Don't move to fill the silence. Let her linger. Let her feel your warmth, not just the warmth of your body, but of your emotional steadiness. Let her feel that you're not here for just the moment, but for the depth of what this moment holds. This is not friendship anymore. You've crossed into something more vulnerable, more raw, more real. And what you do here, how you respond, will either nurture that intimacy or slowly suffocate it. So what does presence look like in this kind of hug? It's not about having all the right moves. It's about being the right presence. Steady, calm, unshaken. Maybe it's a soft caress across her back. Maybe it's a gentle squeeze, or simply holding her a few seconds longer than expected. That's all it takes to say, I'm not afraid of what this means. You're safe here. Because here's the truth. Every hug is more than a gesture. It's a conversation between nervous systems, and she feels whether you're truly there or hiding behind a performance. Are you tense, distracted, eager to control the moment? She'll know. Are you grounded, breathing calmly, attuned to her without pushing? She'll feel that too, and trust will grow. And when you respond like that, when you respond not just with your arms but with your whole presence, something shifts. You leave a lasting imprint, not because you did anything dramatic, but because you didn't abandon the moment. You stayed, you breathed through it, you met her energy instead of managing it. That's what she remembers, not just the hug, but how she felt in your arms, safe, seen, understood. That is how you begin to unlock her heart, not with clever lines or sudden moves, but with stillness, depth, and consistency. Because a woman's heart doesn't open through effort, it opens through resonance. And if your energy is aligned, if your presence is real, she'll feel it. Now that we've explored what this kind of embrace truly means, let's go even deeper. Because the hug isn't the destination. It's a doorway into a space where emotional connection and vulnerability meet. So what's really happening in that space? Why does it matter so much? And how can mastering this moment transform not just your relationship with her, but also your relationship with yourself? Let's take a step into that world in the next section. Earlier, we talked about the power of an intimate embrace, the kind that holds space for real connection, stillness, and presence. But what happens next depends on something even more important: your emotional mastery. Emotional mastery, the invisible force behind every hug. Your ability to navigate your emotions in these vulnerable moments is what truly separates the ordinary from the unforgettable. But let's be clear, emotional mastery isn't about pushing your feelings aside. It's not about putting on a calm face while chaos brews inside. It's about understanding. It's about acknowledgement. It's about choice. Imagine, just for a moment, that you've carried scars from the past. Relationships where trust was shattered, where emotional distance became your normal. Maybe you've been let down. Maybe opening up feels more like a threat than an invitation. Those emotional wounds, they're not just baggage, they're teachers. And when you're in that deep, quiet moment of a meaningful hug, what if you didn't shut down? What if, instead of pulling away, you leaned in, not just physically, but emotionally? What if, in that pause, you let yourself feel, truly feel, not just her body close to yours, but every old fear rising, every instinct to retreat? And you chose to stay. That's not just physical closeness, that's inner transformation. That's where real emotional mastery begins, because you're not just embracing her, you're embracing your fear, you're embracing your vulnerability, you're embracing the part of yourself you've kept guarded for far too long. And what happens when you do that? You begin to heal. You start to show up differently. She can feel it, not in your words, but in the way you hold her, in the way your presence no longer wavers when emotions get heavy. But be careful. Emotional mastery should never be confused with emotional manipulation. There's a line, one that's easy to cross if you're not aware. Reading her signals and responding with presence, that's maturity. Reading her signals to steer her emotions for your gain, that's manipulation. And it breaks trust faster than silence ever could. True connection doesn't need control. It needs truth. It needs sincerity. And this, right here, is where many men stumble. They sense the energy shift in a lingering hug, the quiet vulnerability in an embrace, and they freeze. They overanalyze, they hesitate. What if I misread this? What if I do too much? What if she pulls away? So they shrink. They manage the moment instead of living it. And just like that, the chance to deepen connection slips away. Because when you're not present, when you're too busy protecting yourself from rejection, you're no longer with her in that moment. You're inside your own fears. But here's the truth. It's not about doing something perfectly. It's about allowing yourself to be present, unguarded, genuine, vulnerable. It's about showing her, through your calm and steady energy, that you're not just physically close, you're emotionally available. That's the energy that draws her in. That's the kind of presence that lingers in her mind and heart long after the moment ends. So, how do you do that consistently? How do you meet these emotionally charged moments without being hijacked by your insecurities or fears? The answer lies in self-awareness. To be self-aware is to know where you stand emotionally, what triggers you, what scares you, what you tend to avoid. But instead of running from it, you show up anyway. That's emotional growth, that's strength. Every hug, every silent exchange, every intimate pause, it's an opportunity to grow into the man you're capable of becoming. It's not about being flawless. It's about being fully present, imperfect, yes, but deeply attuned. Now that we've explored what it truly means to hold emotional mastery in these moments, let's go one step further. Because real growth isn't just about knowing how to respond. It's about understanding how your past shapes your present, and how healing that can unlock something deeper than just connection. In the next section, we'll explore how your past relationships and emotional conditioning influence the way you hug, hold, and love, and what it takes to rewrite that pattern. Are you ready to go there? In our last segment, we uncovered how emotional self-awareness allows you to be fully present during a hug, not just physically, but emotionally. Now we go one step deeper. Because once you've learned to stay open in the moment, the next challenge is, will you dare to respond from the most honest version of yourself? The power of showing up as you are. It's not about pretending to be unshakable. It's about being honest. With her, yes, but first and foremost with yourself. Who are you really? What do you feel? Not what you think you should feel. When you become truly self-aware, something shifts. Emotional connection no longer looks like a risk. It no longer feels like a trap that might lead to rejection, hurt, or disappointment. Instead, it transforms into something sacred, a mirror for your growth, a gateway to becoming the man you were meant to be. So when she gives you that lingering hug, that quiet yet vulnerable invitation, she's not just leaning in to be held. She's offering you a doorway, not just into her heart, but into a deeper relationship with yourself. How will you respond? With old fear or with fresh awareness? This is your chance to let go of the baggage, to stop clutching past disappointments like a shield, and to stand still, fully present, fully open, right here, right now. Because in that moment, you're not only connecting with her, you're reconnecting with the most grounded, sincere version of yourself, where real connection begins. Here's where the real magic happens. Connection isn't built on words or clever lines. It's built on shared vulnerability. When she lets down her guard and you choose to do the same, without flinching, something extraordinary unfolds. You stop being strangers navigating attraction. You become two human beings choosing to be seen and to see each other. This is emotional intimacy. This is shared emotional growth. This is the quiet courage of being exactly who you are, flaws and all. Let's talk about attraction. Attraction is often reduced to surface-level ideas, looks, success, confidence. But the truth? It runs far deeper. Real, lasting attraction is emotional. It's born in the space between her vulnerability and your presence. It's forged when you lean in, not with strategy, but with sincerity. When you respond to her hug, not with calculation, but with emotional confidence, that's when the shift happens. That's when you become irresistible, not because of anything you did, but because of how you were. Your energy, your calm, your ability to stay when so many men would flee. The most attractive thing about a man, his ability to show up fully, emotionally grounded, present and real. That's what makes her feel safe. That's what makes her feel seen. And that's what unlocks her heart. No tricks, no games, just truth. Let's be clear, this isn't about winning her over with flashy moves or pretending to be someone you're not. It's not about trying to get a result. It's about being emotionally available, being in tune with your own truth, and responding with authenticity. That's what makes you unforgettable. Not because you said the right thing, but because you became the man who could hold space for real connection. The kind that lingers in her heart long after the embrace ends. The final truth. In the end, it's never the hug itself that changes things. It's the presence behind it. The honesty in your breath, the steadiness in your hands, the silence that says, "I'm not going anywhere." Because when you show up with vulnerability, with presence and with self-awareness, you don't just unlock her heart. You begin to unlock your own. So now you understand the deeper emotional language of a hug. But what if there was one sentence, one powerful truth you could whisper during that moment that could make her pause, look at you differently, and feel seen on a whole new level? In our next video, we'll uncover exactly that. Say this one thing while hugging and watch her reaction. You won't want to miss it. And if something in this message resonated, something quiet but real, consider staying connected. Like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to Pure Stoic Truth. You're not just watching, you're growing, and we're here walking this path with you. Until next time, keep turning inward.